With summer right around the corner, we are busy getting our outdoor spaces pretty and ready for entertaining.
So I'm really excited about this project because it's for my back patio. I've always wanted one of those coffee tables with a built-in ice chest, but I also want it to serve as a functional, beautiful coffee table, so that is what we are doing today. I've designed a 4-board coffee table that will hold an ice chest, and total supplies is only $62.
That's impressive.
It's unheard of right now with lumber prices.
And she's got a good friend to help her build it, so.
Friend, sister, same thing.
Let's get to work. So the base of this coffee table uses 2x4s that we've ripped down to 3 inches wide each. So Ashley did the honors on that one. And we're using our Kreg Jig 720 Pro to make these pocket hole screws. We love this Kreg Jig. It is so user-friendly. And we are adding 1.5-inch pocket holes to our longer boards. 2 on each end. Hit a knot. There we go. All right, so you're gonna have 4 of these boards, 2 pocket holes on each end, both 1.5 inches, and
I'll take it.
That's it. That's all.
This is the best way to build a table. Get your sister to help you and drill all the pocket holes.
I didn't have to rip the board, so.
True. So the 720 is the newest Kreg Jig model, and we didn't think that we could love a Kreg Jig any more than the last K5s that we had. However, this one, they've taken it a step further in every possible way. The clamp is self-adjusting, so you can go from 3/4 inch width to 1.5 inch width without having to change anything. The only thing you're gonna change between different widths is the depth collar. It's just so easy and so much faster. It's also got this really cool storage on the backside for your drill bits, for your Allen wrench, and it just makes storing it so much easier. Bada bing, bada pocket hole.
Does it come with a sister that will make all the pocket holes for you?
Sister not included. So I think this is like such a great project for beginners because you are only using a few boards. It's a very basic build. Go ahead.
I was trying to be sly. Yeah.
It's a very basic build, and as far as ripping down the boards, you don't even have to do that. You can leave them as 2x4s and still build the same table. Just looks a little bit more modern and clean when you rip the edges. What you see here is 2 table bases. These are going to be on the outside ends.
And 2 sisters.
And 2 sisters. And we've put the pocket holes on the long boards. The bottom of the base, we're going to have the pocket holes face down. We're also going to do that on the top of the base, so all pocket holes will be facing down for this project.
Sweet, and we're going to use our glue bot to add wood glue to build these 2 frames. And we are using Kreg's Blue Coat screws, which are designed to, they have a coating on them which makes them perfect for outside builds, weatherproof, all that good stuff.
Those are the only screws we're using for this entire piece because even on the top planks, we're also going to use the Kreg pocket hole screws for the planks.
Yeah, it's fine. Ignore that. Still have my hand, everything's okay.
So we're on the final boards, and this is a little bit tight to use a regular Kreg Jig bit and the drill, but they do have this really awesome 90-degree driver that is a lifesaver when you're getting into tight corners like shelving and stuff. So much easier than trying to fit the whole drill and the drill bit in there, so must have. So we've got 2 frames. Now here's the tricky part, and I say tricky because I haven't actually put this together, it's just all in my head. These are the 2 ends, and we have to get our hero piece, the ice chest.
Describe hero piece.
So the hero piece of this coffee table is going to be the planter box that sits on the inside that will serve as our cooler.
So what I'm planning on doing, I have to get the measurements for this, but I've bought these. You can also rip these on your own. This is a 1/2-inch dowel. I'm going to attach these to the inside of the table, and that's going to be what the ice chest will slide in and out on. That way you can empty it out when you need to, fill it up when you need to. So the first thing that we're gonna do is cut these to size and attach them with nails and wood glue to the inside of the bases. So what I'm doing is just marking. I'm gonna have these just be the width of the top of the base just so you don't see them as much. So we'll need 2 cut at this dimension.
Deal. So we are going to lay our frames down. We've got our dowels cut. I'm adding a line of wood glue, a good line of wood glue, because this is going to be holding a lot of ice and cold drinks. And I'm lining it up flush with the bottom of that top board and attaching using 18 gauge brad nails.
Okay, so that step's done. Now we're going to turn them upright and place the planter box inside so that we can see how long we need to make our planks. So this is why we measure and cut as we go. There's 2 different sizes at the hardware store for these planter boxes. One's 36 like this one. There's another one that's 24, but you could really use any size. But this way I went ahead and did not prep the boards ahead of time so that we know exactly how long we need those top planks.
Perfect. So I'll get the tape measure, which is not anywhere close to me.
Who needs a tape measure?
So I'm gonna go ahead and measure the length right here so we know exactly how long we want our boards to be. And we are at 42 and an eighth.
42
right
and
at
an
42 and an eighth. And we're gonna let Ash make the cuts for us.
So these top planks are actually 42 and 1/8. Double check, because I only have one board. Okay, so these top planks are 1/8. The 2 outside planks, one of the boards I ripped to 5 1/8 inch because it worked the best with the top of the coffee table on spacing. Because when you're doing an outdoor table, you want to make sure that you have a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch gap between the boards so that water doesn't sit on it and rot the wood. A little shanty tip we didn't come up with. Okay, so we'll go try that one on. And it's gonna go flush on the edge right here. It's a perfect fit, so we'll cut the second one. Or I will. Whitney's playing on her phone.
I'm working. I swear. I swear.
You know, it'd be cute for
Stop it.
All right, second cut made. I'm gonna throw things around. Perfect fit. And the final one is the full 1/8. I didn't rip that one, and that one's gonna go in the center. So that one's gonna be cut at the same
We're almost
length.
done. Yeah, I told y'all.
Crazy.
Told y'all.
So this board is the center board.
Sorry. I ran into my soul.
So this board is the center board and it's a 1/8. I did not rip it down because the spacing worked best the way that I did it. You can do whatever you want. Okay, let's try this guy on. Bada bing.
Bada bing, bada coffee table.
Okay, so at this point, the coffee table is almost done. It's that easy. So what we're gonna do now is attach the 2 outside planks with screws, and then we will get to the fun stuff on that middle one in just a second. Let's see if it works.
All right.
Oh my gosh, it
You
works!
are money.
How fun is that?
So we're gonna be using the new Kreg jig quick flip, which will counterbore our screw and give us a really professional finish. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna put 2 right here. That's gonna be where our first board goes. And I wanna make sure I'm avoiding that pocket hole right there. So this is perfect. There we go. So you can see right there, it's gonna give us a perfect space to attach that pocket hole screw. And it allows us to use the pocket hole screws instead of regular wood screws. So now we're moving down to the other side and we're gonna add 2 more. Awesome. Okay, so now we are ready to get that top plank. If I can get Ash to set it up here for us. And we're gonna add some wood glue right here to where it's gonna line up. Now, the magic of the quick flip, we're gonna pull the collar forward. We're gonna quickly flip it around to reveal that number 2 square bit.
That's so fast.
Stick it back, it's so quick, right? And it's locked in place, ready to drive in those pocket hole screws. You want it flush on all corners, so it's gonna be flush on the outside edge and also flush on this shorter side. I'm using my quick flip to drive in that pocket hole screw. What I love about this is that it counterbores that screw, so once that table's flipped over, you've got a nice professional finish. You won't ever see that screw.
You're so professional.
I really am.
All right, I'm doing the exact same thing Whitney just did.
Such a copycat.
I really am. And we are using 1.5 inch pocket hole screws. So we've got both of the end pieces on. We're gonna move this to the floor and do the final step for the top planks.
So heavy. Good thing I'm so strong.
Okay, so we're marking center on both of these ends. Okay, and the way that I've designed for this coffee table to function as a coffee table when you're not using it as a cooler is for this board to slide over 2 dowels on each end. So what we're gonna do is mark center for this, and we're gonna drill a 1/2 inch hole into into the top plank and the 2x4 underneath it. And that's gonna make sure that our dowels line up perfectly.
So what I'm doing now is marking 1.5 inches from that center line, and that's gonna give us the point where we need to drill. And we're using Craig's new drilling guide, and that's just gonna give us a nice hole for our dowel, which will be really important when we start lining up that table top. I'm just using a 1/2 inch bit, and I'm going through my top board, and then I'm just going to go
a tiny bit
into that second board. I want to make sure I did.
You can see we've got our holes in the base of the table, and we've also got them in the top plank. So now we're just gonna stain the whole piece. I'll add the dowels in, and this is done.
And then it's time for some Topo Chico.
Heck yeah! At this point, I've got my holes for my dowel. I'm putting the dowel in to the base, and I'm putting the plank over that to mark for my cut for the dowel. Now I'm gluing the dowel in place, and I can slip the plank right over.
Ashley, this table is so cute. I love the design of this one.
Thank you. I'm pretty impressed with myself for getting it under $70 for a coffee table, and I can't wait to see it filled up with tons of Topo Chico and ice. So excited.
And I think it'd be super cute with flowers too at different seasons.
That's a great idea. Maybe some succulents.
Multi-purpose. I love it. Well, thanks guys for stopping by. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss another video. And thank you, Kreg, for all the awesome tools that made this table so easy.
Happy building.